Ohio currently ranks 5th in the nation for the amount of data centers operating across the state. A new House bill could slow the expansion of this development to determine the impact that data centers have on the state. Ohio Farmers Bureau is publicly supporting this proposal. Ohio Farm Bureau Director of State Policy, Evan Calicote, joins me now to talk about the bill. Evan, can you briefly explain what House Bill 646 would do about the rapid growth of data centers in Ohio?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. But House Bill 646, it will not set any new laws or regulations around data centers. It would just create a study commission that would allow our General Assembly, again, to kind of take a deep look on, are we really planning these well? Are we putting these data centers where they need to be? Are we putting them in too fast? There's a lot of different things that bill looks at, but we think it would be a good opportunity, again, to kind of look at the benefits and costs of these data centers and see if they really do make sense for our state.
Data centers use a significant amount of land and resources. Do we know what impact a continued expansion of these centers could have on Ohio farmers?
Yeah, land use is far and above the #1 concern that our members have had. And I think data centers are just a part of that conversation. A lot of these, again, as you said, take up a significant amount of land. And we want to make sure that when we're looking at any type of economic development project, that we are smartly developing them and that we're looking into the future trying to protect our agricultural heritage.
Over the past 20 years, Ohio has lost 1 million acres of farmland. Can you put that into perspective for people who maybe don't understand the impact of that loss?
Well, in total, Ohio has about 13 million acres. So even though, again, that took 20 years to lose a million, that is still a significant amount. And once agricultural land is gone, it doesn't come back. You cannot put agricultural land over an old skyscraper that you tore down. So again, it's very, very difficult once you lose that land. So it can be concerning. And we're not at a breaking point now, but eventually we might be. So we want to make sure that we're always protecting our land best as possible.
So back to your answer, farmland, it can't be restored at all if something's built on top of it or dries up?
Yeah, I would say it is very, very difficult. If you're looking at some things where you're not completely paving over the ground, you might be able to, but once you put something on that farm ground, it is near impossible to turn it back into productive farm ground.
How involved in this process to progress the bill has the Farmers Bureau been involved in?
Yeah, so we testified in support of the bill yesterday. So far, that's the engagement that we've had on the bill. There are other, I think, pieces of legislation out there that might be dealing with data centers that we may be taking a look at. But we stand ready to work with any level of government, especially the General Assembly, on any type of legislation that we think can positively benefit land use and other things in Ohio.
If Ohioans are watching and they want to see this bill move forward, is there anything they can do?
Reach out to your legislator, make your voice heard, whether you are a pro-data center or anti-data center or somewhere in the middle. Just let your voice be heard. That is why we think this commission is a good thing. It's not setting regulations on either side. And it's, again, just letting the conversation happen. So I think just making your voice heard with your legislator is the best thing you can do.
All right. Evan Calicote with the Ohio Farm Bureau. Thank you for your time. We'll continue to watch to see how this progresses.
Thank you.